Yes, this political mistake. Bwaga is a political mistake. This political mistake that was imposed, I've got to be very clear and be very emphatic. Mr. Bwakai, Joseph Nyima Bwakai, has been imposed on the Liberian people by historical mistake, by electoral mistake, and political accident. And this is the reason why you can see clearly that if you look between the lines, you realize that anyone who has been imposed on a particular group of people to govern, that person does not care. You understand? So, yesteryears, Bwaga vomited political verbal diarrhea in several campaign promises that he made to the Liberian populace. He said he could have ridden wheelbarrow to go to the executive mansion. He said that. This man also told us clearly this guy is a dangerous pathological liar. He told us that Bwaka was living alone. Bwaka said that to the Liberian populace. Just few.
But it's obvious that once.
No, I'm saying, someone who have government, a political liability, and being in government bureaucracy for 42 years of useless and worthless existence, say you are living alone. Now, how can this man who say you are living alone? Here's the contrast. Here is the irony, not just irony, but the irony of situation, the irony of time. The man who said you're living alone, and the man who said that you would take wheelbarrow to go to the executive mansion, right? It's a symbol. Devastating economy. Look at the economy. There's crisis all over the country. Chaotic. There's political disintegration in the states. There's political chaos in the country. The society now is plagued by unprecedented circumstances that are creating serious panic and disaster in the country. And instead of this man trying to usher in posterity measures that will lessen the burden on the citizens, measures that will improve the condition of the masses, the poor masses, not just the masses, but the sovereign masses of our people. The guy is brave by a modern Lexus vehicle that worth 1.2 million United dollars. And not only that, they may just flaunting with private jets, flying from Monrovia to Foya, from Foya to Sierra Leone and come back to the country. So if you look at him, from what he said during the campaign period to what he's doing in governance, it tells you that he is a monument of contradiction. And that's what Mao Zedong told us as a student of revolutionary science. When Mao told over the Chinese Republic and from the combatants of the Nationalist Party led by some reactionary forces, he was clear. He said, in order to improve the economic and social condition of the masses of the people in China, he said we must be able to theorists, but in practice, most at times and most often and too often in Liberia, people are better version of leaders when they just take theories and promises and pledges, but in practical reality and sense, they do not exist in practice. That is the irony. And that's the situation with Mr. Bwakai. And today, these unscrupulous, stunning barbarians who are now gallivanting under the mantra of the rescue mission shenanigans are now frustrated and they are sheep. Some are buying their heads. Insane.
But with all of these things that you are saying, just quickly, I want to let you know that Masisi is listening. So you know she got issues.
I speak for the general masses of our people. Listen to me. Listen to me. I speak for the general masses of our people. I don't want you to. Excuse me. Hello. So, I don't want you. Listen. No. Excuse me.
So are you saying that?
No, excuse me. No, excuse me. You gotta stop this. Let us be very honest and go to the Liberian issues. To go to stop. That's a distraction.
Okay, so fast forward. With all of what you've explained, there are still Liberians, especially supporters of the rescue mission, that still feel that the government is doing better, the government is working. Just late on yesterday evening, I saw somebody, Patrick Honda, posting the road between Mount Barclay to the second layer of quota has been placed there, and the government is claiming that project. The government is talking about the chicken soup factory rule and the several other rule projects across the country. With all of these things, comparing it with the first term or the first year of Ria's regime.
The government has not built new rules, has not able to initiate own
What about
rules.
the chicken soup factory?
I'm saying the government, everything the government is doing here now, they are all like one of our senior comrades said that they are all vision theft. Everything the government is operating on is being this a borrowed platform, that's a borrowed implementation. The government of Liberia, under His Excellency President John Manawiya, initiated all of the projects, the major roads, the different feeder roads in the country. In Central River is environs across Liberia. Major roads in the country were initiated, and some of the roads are ongoing.
We're talking about implementation.
No, but the implementation, they were being implemented. Some were ongoing until we transition the country. The government on Baka has not told us clearly where are the main roads that they have broken ground for. They got to tell us during our time, during our administration on the auspices of the Excellency President George Manawiya. I mean, we broke ground for roads. Has the government broken down ground for roads? Has the government broken ground for roads? Abu, new roads. Let me tell you all, why are the new roads that they are broken grounds for? So I'm not here for Mo Ali. Mo Ali is one of the incompetent rescue.
Patrick Horner, actually.
Oh, Patrick Horner. What do you expect from Patrick Horner? The man generator makes about 3,500, and at the detriment of civil servants, at the detriment of teachers, at the detriment of health workers in the country. Is it not a provocation?
What's your fair assessment about education under this government?
Well, I think education on the government is a colossal mess. It's not only a mess, but it's a catastrophe. The reason here is that when we took over on our administration, we're very clear. No civilized society, advanced democracy can exist in terms of can improve. The system is underfunded or it's not been attended to, because if you want to have the next engineers, doctors, and economists and accountants, senators, and whoever, I mean, these people are products and they are offshoots of what a vibrant educational system should look like. And so, if you look at the CDC's first year in office, what we did was unprecedented in our political history. To deal with unemployment issue, to deal with illiteracy issue, you must tackle education, which is a barrier.
Okay.
It's a barrier. And so we moved to free education, for example, at every public college and university. We declared that with no reservation precondition. Creating access to education as a pathway to reducing illiteracy, to reducing illiteracy and increasing literacy in our country, so that people get, employed in
ignorant quality.
Both. Both.
Was it hand in hand?
No.
Your focus was just access to it.
No, not just access. We digitized the university as a conduit and means of, the quality you're talking about. So we also, revisited some of the archaic policies where students should stand on, in lines, on queue, just to register. Today, students can sit homes.
How is that different from what this government is?
What the government is doing, every government should have their own way of dealing with issues. I have not seen this government on Bwaka. Tackling education to say, since it has come to power, this is one intervention that we have made. Here is it. We can safely say, we can. There's a framework, there's a blueprint on our CDC. We can say, if we talk about free education in Liberia, say, yes, it's the CDC. We talk about free work, say, yes, it's the CDC. When you talk about when you talk about digitally the universal Liberia registration process, you talk about CDC. What has the government done? What is the major intervention in education? I challenge you.
Cleaning the system.
Clean what system? By what means?
You say you never met.
By what means? You students are demonstrating all around the place. Why is it cleaning? Not yes at the University of New York.
Challenges involved.
What challenges?
To clean the system.
What challenges? What challenges? You know, let me tell you this.
Incompetent teachers.
Abu. Yeah.
Incompetent, bloated,
Abu.
part-time lecturers. And
Abu. Those are inconsequential. They're immaterial to sustainable educational development. Those are inconsequential, immaterial conversation.
The quality.
The University of New York has existed for over 50 years plus. You talking about?
You mean the quality of teachers are inconsequential?
No, what I'm saying, for a political party that have been in the corridor of power for 12 years, 12 years, 6 years on out to the United Party will be about, I think, 18 years, something else, if I'm not mistaken. For this political party that have been in the corridor of power for 12 years and 6 years, I'm going to say, have another 10 years, we now know up to date the challenges and the complexity that the educational system of our country is faced with. You want to tell me now they are still looking at payroll issue, they are still looking at other minor issues in the educational system, when other civilizations, universities in Ghana, for example, in Sierra Leone, at Legon, or in Makerere University in Uganda, in Pretoria, in Cape Town, moving to STEM education. People talking about science, education, talking about technology. People talking about engineering. When the people are advancing in publications, professors are teaching from their books.
They say the government left unpaid salaries to teachers, and that's what they face with.
The United Party, when we talk about the United Party, we inherited debts. We did not complain. Why is the United Party keep shifting blame? When we talk about the United Party 2017, 2018 president, we are LEC was indebted. We pay for that. There were international debts, domestic debts. We pay for that. So if you cannot handle minor issues like teacher salary and you want to share blame, then what you came to power for? You came to power to say rescue. On the rescue mantra, when you say rescue, it means that you want to ensure that things that are drowning, you want to have them resuscitated. You want to have a whole recovery system.
Are they not rescuing the education system?
No, yeah, they are rescuing the educational system very well. That's why there are thousands
so you agree that
they are rescuing the educational system. That's why they have made no intervention.
What is the argument?
The argument is that they are really rescuing the educational system. Well, that's the reason why today there is one single policy that affects education. They are rescuing the education system. That's why thousands of university students that are listening today are frustrated and they are disappointed. No buses, no chairs. Students are now in the MCSS system, educational system. They are still being subjected to the unorthodox system of the two-way party learning, where they have to sit on fair flow. They have to go and protest because the teachers are not, and they are frustrated all around the country. That is the rescue.
MCSS student protest is not unique to this government. It's happening. But I think the one I want to ask you about the government's response, the way the government responded to the student.
That is, you know that the government is any government, let me say this to you, any government that does not enjoy popular mandates, the democratic legitimacy, whether in the streets, or even at the central bureaucracy, in the governance system among the civil servants, or across the political landscape, always jitters and always panics. Any government for that matter. You saw that the government came to power just on a tiny margin, very, very infinitesimal, very small margin. So the government doesn't have legitimacy. That's why you see all of our reactions, all of the government's reactions are always detrimental to our own existence. You can see clearly. Running after students, beating them, and brutalizing them. I can shoot loud bullets at innocent student who is asking.
Did the government shoot?
Shooting tear gas at students who were asking that we want to go to school. Why is it wrong for students to demand that the teachers must go back to classroom because they want to learn? Your children in this country your children are not in this country. They are in the diaspora. They have been taught in the British educational system, the American educational system. They've gone to Asian countries. They've been taught in that system. But because the poor people children from Doe community, from Clarendon, from Westmont, from Nukutown, they go to Tottenham, they go to Boswan, they go to Gibson, and you throw them out. Yet you come here and you sit down and say students underperform in national examinations. How can you prepare students adequately to go to national examination when they are out of classes perpetually. While your children are out of the country learning, and you make mockery out of the poor people's children, the children of the additional masses of our people. That is on the front. And that's why we say salute to the young comrades and ask them to go beyond that. They must demand that education is a franchise under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I'm saying, protest is a fundamental and constitutional obligation to every responsible citizen. Even the Constitution, Article 1.
You have not solved issues.
No, peaceful protests have resolved issues. Who told you that? Peaceful protests have resolved issues. The only thing is that the state becomes very nervous and dictators, and that's why we ask with violence.
There are several protests that have happened since Mr. Boga became president.
Let me tell you, contradictions when they accumulate into the grievances.
The regime is not a weak regime.
No. From what context? From what context?
They do not quote into
No. Maybe I will gotta go back to history. I mean, when the apartheid system was very brutal.
No, we're talking about.
I'm saying I'm here. We draw analysis to history.
The magnitude of those actions.
No, I'm saying to you. The style of the government. You talking about the regime is powerful. When the regime is powerful, that is not democracy. That's not democracy. That is.
But the regime has proven strength.
No. What I'm saying, when the Constitution says all power is inherent in the people. They don't say all power is inherent in the government. So I disagree fundamentally. If you say that, that is a show of weakness. It's not a show of strength. Because when the people fear the government, that is tyranny. That is dictatorship. That is kakistocracy and plutocracy. But when the government fear the people, that is democracy. Because that's what the Constitution says on Article 1. Article 1986 Constitution that all power is inherent in the people. So when a reckless, untrained, and uncivilized few elements of school element in the Liberia National Police will go down Broad Street and shoot protesters and brutalize students in uniform, and you think that power.
So you're afraid of the government.
Afraid of what government? Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. The government are brought down by the objective conditions and the material reality of the people. The suffering conditions of the people when that accumulates into the temple of the society.
The government has accused the CDC of exaggerating the condition of the people to justify political motives. Why
gives the CDC what to pay their own teachers? Can you? How can a parent or father in your home accuse people of refusing to send their own child to school? What kind of knowledge is that, Abu? The government says she will come and give civil servant, increase civil servant salaries. Tomorrow, civil servant go demonstrate. You see that CDC say? So the breads that we saw to RRA, that CDC send the breads there, are they seditious? What kind of funny government is this? You say you're coming to increase health worker salaries and improve their conditions, and the people are demonstrating. You use motorcyclists.
I saw recently that they have increased
health workers. Where? Doctors? You don't want to health workers. You don't want a few elite doctors. The health system is a conglomeration.
But it's a gradual process.
No. You say it's a gradual process. It's a mockery.
But you have to recognize that they have.
There's no. The system is a very big system. Health workers is not about few elite doctors. About the ordinary nurses, is about people who are struggling. Even the janitors, they also contribute there. The security. So when we talk about health workers, it's a whole ecosystem. I don't want you to limit that to few elite doctors. I'm saying this to you, that the government of Liberia will have a set to blame because the contradictions are piling up. The accumulated grievances are becoming prevalent.
Let's look at
poverty
and youth empowerment.
Where's the youth empowerment, Abu? Where's the youth empowerment in the country?
The government has just launched what you call it?
Yeah. No, but
when the young people.
I told you. No, I told which job?
Temporary employment.
You break like you can't come with youth empowerment and you breaking down market structure in the country. There's no way you can talk about youth empowerment and chase after motorcyclists and beat them and take their backs. So where's the youth empowerment? This government vomited reckless promise that they were going to provide 10,000 jobs for young people to be educated in digital science and technology. You need to ask them where are the 10,000 young people? Where are the 10,000 young people? Let me tell you, there is no vision and no plan for a strategic roadmap to creating wealth and employment opportunities for young people in this country. You have listened to the Minister of Finance that we must pray because the economy is tough and it will get worse. He said that categorically on the national platform. Can you create job by beating motorcyclists and putting them behind bars and taking a bus for them? Can you create an opportunity by destroying and breaking down market structures and beating Yana boys and street vendors? Where are the jobs?
Government is bringing development.
Development
comes with pain.
The development comes with pain, but not at the detriment of the citizens. When you're developing, there must be a panacea. There must be a means to absorb.
You're getting rid of makeshift
structure has to be done in a way that does not take the bread and butter conversation on the table of the vulnerable population.
Which one? The so-called bread and butter?
Oh, you call that so-called bread and butter?
The president called it so-called.
No. The bread and butter issue that we're discussing today is why the people living back to send their children to school. It's why the motorcyclists living back to send their people to hospital. It's why the civil servants living back.
Is the government not addressing
the government? Let me tell you. Any revolution in any government that does not benefit and provide social economic transformation for the masses of our people is a devil gift. Because the devil has three reasons. The devil can steal, kill, and lie. Those are the characteristics of the devil. So a revolution that does not benefit the masses is a devil gift. Waka is a gift from hell. It's a gift from the devil. That's what he clearly stated.
That is strong.
No, it's a gift from hell. No, he's a descendant.
The president of the republic.
The president is demoniacal. He's draconian. He's a satanic incarnate. He's luciferic. He's diabolical. Waka said that, and I'm saying it. You will hear the country of Waka said he will remain.
Are you not afraid you could be arrested?
Arrested? Waka will be the first to be arrested. Joseph Waka will be the first to be arrested. The man is the most popular citizen in the country. Mr. Waka.
How do you say that he just won an election?
No, he just won elections. But he's making decisions that are running very irrelevant and unpopular. You don't live for a president, a certain president.
What are the evidence?
The evidence is that yesterday on Benson Street, for a certain president to go and buy from a street vendor, and the whole road was not barricaded by forces. Go in Burkina Faso, let Ibrahim Traoré go on the street.
That was an impromptu.
No impromptu. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you this. When the social condition, when the social economic condition, are improved by the government, the people themselves can gravitate. The presidency can become a system of attraction, the force of gravity. My president, Weah was president of the country. At the moment where he's now still president, he doesn't need to announce. He only needs to just go and practice that place to be barricaded. Wakai, just like human Wakai, went on the street, disgraceful and shamefully asking for change. What kind of man is this?
I think the government, the argument here.
And he said Waka can arrest me.
The government.
And attempt to do that, the we sentence will arrest from Waka.
The state.
The government.
The state does not operate in isolation. Wait, talk about the state.
For comments you made towards the president.
I challenge, I defy. Let me say this to you. I take responsibility. I challenge, I defy. I challenge, I defy the state. Nobody in this country can arrest in this country.
Are you above this?
I'm saying, if you want to arrest, go arrest the breast. Go and arrest the breast. How useless the government has become.
So let's talk about rule of law and, of course, human rights under this government. What's your thought?
What is rule of law? in the absence of justice. Right is rule of law in the absence of justice. There's no rule of law in the country. Let me say this. This government has the worst human rights record in the country because the rule of law has broken down totally in the country.
Which report are you quoting?
I mean the human rights report in Liberia. I mean the
independent
human rights report by the councilor. I mean, them so Brown is there that their own government they won't pay the man. The man said they got the worst police record in the country history. And I'm saying that human rights.
Do you agree?
I don't have to agree. It's a fact. I don't have to agree. He doesn't have to tell me that to know that that police can pepper spray lawmakers. He doesn't have to tell me to know that there is an unconstitutional removal of a certain speaker. The human rights report doesn't have to tell me that to know that students were brutalized because of their rights to education was violated. Health workers have been disenfranchised and are protesting all around the place because their rights and privileges have been violated. Motorcyclists' rights have been violated. The government allowed to ensure that there is intervention in reducing the prices of
an argument that there's a decline in police brutality compared to your regime, the regime itself. How do you respond?
I think that argument is not just a myth, but is a whole pathological myth. It's a lie. Our administration.
How is it a lie?